Alright, hello, my name is Morty, this is Mildly Gunpla, and this week we are looking at the GM-79 G-Type GM. So this is the grunt suit from the 0079 timeline, the Universal Century timeline. So these are very iconic mobile suits. So I have built a GM command type in the past as a high grade. You can tell how old this kit is because it comes with one of these. So yeah, it is a 2001 kit, so it's very dated. So I expect a lot of the technology used to build it is rather old, and as a result, it's probably going to be a bit of a pain in some areas. So I've been putting off building it for a while now, but I figured I should probably tackle it so that I can finish this year with 52 kits complete. So we're going to take all these bits and pieces out. As you can see, there's quite a few bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bags in total. Big thing of polycaps there. That is absolutely humongous. So that's going to be a bit of a pain. And there's even some screws. You know, it's an old kit when it's got screws in it. So that is the booklet for it. It is an actual booklet. So it is a pretty decently sized kit. So we go through here. That's what it's going to look like in the back, except it won't because I don't build like that. And yeah, so we've got all sorts of cool things in here. I really do wish I could read Japanese because that seems like it's going to be some really interesting stuff on this page here. And then you've got some more stuff there as well. So feel free to pause that, take a look at it, because that looks like it's probably some really interesting techno stuff about the kit itself, or about the mobile suit. So yeah, that's going to be this particular build. It's going to be a bit of a big one, and I expect it will probably take me a good long while to do. So let's pull the camera in to about where I normally do this for my time-lapse builds, which is around about the 50mm mark. And let's jump into it, shall we? I'll see you on the other side for my thoughts. Alright, and there we have the GM Master Grade. Now, I didn't have the highest expectations of this kit, if I'm perfectly honest. Being a 2001 kit, being a grunt suit, all that normal stuff, it normally doesn't get the care and love and attention from people who create these things and design these things that you'd expect, like from a mainline suit, like the Wing or the Nu or the Sazabi or something like that. However, this kit was really interesting. The the technology behind it is obviously very old. Like everything interlocks in the legs and the arms and everything. So putting them together, and if you've made a mistake when putting them together, it could be an absolute nightmare. If you go back and rewatch a little bit on the slower side, you will notice that I stop and I have to reverse almost an entire leg because I put the knee joint in around the wrong way and I didn't notice until it was pretty much finished. So yeah, that was fun, not. But yeah, you'll see me make a couple of little mistakes like that throughout the time lapse, which is a touch on the embarrassing side. But once like the legs and the arms were done, the rest of the kit took like 30 minutes. Like the chest, the head, the backpack, the weapons, everything was super easy in comparison to those. So there's a lot of older technologies. Does mean that those joints are going to be super sturdy, and if the thing drops, hardly anything's going to fall off it because the thing's built like a tank. I was going to say brick S house, but no. So yeah, it's built like a tank, and it's an amazingly designed kit. For 2001, this is a really, really cool one. However, I would like to see newer redesigns. Like I specifically remember building the GM Sniper and that being a really fun kit to build and play with. So I'd really like to see a new GM, like just general GM design like this, be re-released. I'm not sure if they have been. Leave comments down below if I'm just talking crap out my ass and I don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't. If I'm perfectly honest, I really, really don't. But I'm not going to move them out of this kind of like walking forward position because there's a few different things about it. So these hands that go into the arms, obviously, they've got like a half ball. So instead of it being like a full ball socket, it's like this kind of 2/3 ball joint thing that like plugs into the wrist, and it doesn't stay in there very well. So if you give just a bit too much pressure onto the weapon or something like that, it falls out, which is moderately frustrating. There's a couple of other types of hands that you can play with, but given it's 2001, it doesn't have any of those like more modern weapon and hand gimmicks. So the weapons tend to sit really floppily in the hands, which is quite annoying because you want the weapons to sit in there fairly solidly so you can do more dynamic action poses, right? But yeah, it's a 2001 kit. It's 19 years old. I'm not going to expect too much from it. There are a couple of other cool gimmicks, like in the legs here. There's an opening compartment for where you can store beam sabers. It comes out and down like that, which is quite cool. And overall, the kit is super stable. So as you can see, like me moving it around, it's not going anywhere. That's probably partly because it's got 3 points with the weapon and the 2 feet of connection to the ground. But the balance for it is really solid, quite firm, and I'm a big fan of that because having kits falling over all the time is an absolute pain in the ass, and you've got to put them in these like really delicate, precarious positions. You have to tiptoe past the shelves where they're being displayed. It's the whole thing. Anyway, the only other thing I could say about this, like I know they're probably trying to be like somewhat anime accurate kind of thing, but what is up with that color scheme? Like these bright oranges, and like the tan makes sense, but why the bright, vibrant neon orange? It doesn't make sense. But for a ranking, this is just a mid-tier high grade. It's nothing special. It's nothing amazing. It has definitely shown that it is quite an old kit in a lot of its technologies and a lot of how it's put together, and even the manual. Like the manual runs you through both legs and both arms before it gets you to anything else, whereas most other manuals these days like get you to do the head and the torso, and it like builds the kit out, whereas this like does all the extremities and then it builds the stuff that you connect it to, which was a bit of a different way of doing it. And I know some people jump through manuals and do it that way anyway because they just want to get the arms and legs out of the way because repetition is kind of annoying. but I like to follow the manual or else I miss things, which happens even when I follow the manual, if I'm honest, but that, anyway. Thank you very much for watching. This is coming up towards the end of this year of series of time-lapse builds and things like that, so I do appreciate you having gotten this far, or one of you probably. I've got my last 1, 2, 3, 4 kits for the year already planned out, so I am looking forward to getting those built and putting them up on this platform. Thank you very much for watching. Links down below for my social media, and please hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see, or even just any feedback. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.